is the fabric folded on the table into 4. Normally you can cut this on the ground because it's really long, but I'm cutting on the table. I'll just move as I go on. So this is the folded part. This is the top part. There's no opening here. This is where you have the opening and at the bottom. So the first thing you need to do is to get your neckline. I'm going to be cutting on the right side because I'll make a tracing that will make it easy for us to follow, because when we stitch, we're going to be stitching right on top. So to start cutting, I want like a tunic neckline. So I'm going to do like 5 inches first, depth 5 inches. Then the width, I'm going to make 4 inches. Or you can make 3.5, so it's not too wide. Let's do 3.5. So I'm going to make like something like a crew neck. So all I need to do is join either of them, the first or the second. So I'm doing the 3.5 by 5. So that's the first neckline. So 3.5 by 5, as you can see. Now from this point, I'm going to extend it down to about 3 inches. So I want it to be a total of 8 inches. At this point, I'm going to make like a curve so there can be an opening. Yeah, just a small curve. So all I take from here is about the quarter. I don't want it to be too wide. So this is rounded, a bit like a U, and this just a small cut, small incision. So that's all I'm going to cut off. But you know it's together, so I need to be careful. The back I want to be 1 inch low. So I'm going to take off the back first. 1 inch. I'm cutting together the back and the front because there'll be no opening on the shoulder. So I've done that. So I'll have to open up to cut my front neckline. But before I do that, we need to get the shape of our bubu. I don't want it to be like this agbada free bubu to the bottom. So a particular stage, I'm going to just cut it and make a curve. So I'm going to start that at the knee. I'm measuring from the top. I'm going to measure to about 40 before I make the curve. So 40 inches, I mark that. I'm just going to pull that up for you to see. So at this 40, I'm going to have something like this, like a curve, like you can see, because I want here to be slimmer, the bottom part to be slimmer. So all you need to do now is to get the width of the bottom. It must not be too too wide, so you don't have the shape, and it must not be too small, you can't walk. So for me, I would believe about 14 inches will be fine width for the bottom. 14 times 4 will give us almost 60. So if it's free at the bottom, it will make for ease of movement. Or better still, as you go downwards, all you need to do is to open up a little. So the bottom part is flare. So we're going to cut around that and shape the sides. So let me push this together again so you can see how I do it. So we'll start cutting from the bottom. If I check what I have here, I have about 17. It's a bit much, so I want to reduce that to about 16. So I'll just cut. And as I cut, I pull downwards. Then I'll cut out. Okay, so that's our shape at the bottom. So I'm just going to place well so you can see we've gotten the shape at that point. So that stops somewhere at the knee. All we need to do now for this dress is to get the tracing of our bubu before we open up to cut the neck. So now I want it to be a bit free so that a size 8 to 16 can wear this. So what I'll do is from the top, I'll measure about 11 inches. So that will serve as my armhole. I won't stitch anywhere between that 11 inches. I'll start stitching from the 11 inch down towards the bottom. So from the center, I'm going to get my bust under the 11 inches. So I'm going to do like a 45 inches. That's divided by 4, 11 1/4. Then to get my waist as usual, I could just do the same. I'll do the same thing from the top. I'm going to get about 16 inches because we don't need to sew here. So I won't add any ½ inch. At this point, I'll get where I can measure the waist. So the waist I can do a 42 at that point. Then from there, 8 inches. Then I can do a 50 inches or 52 inches. So I can tie to shape that way. Then I'm going to sew on that. So when you wear it, it has a form. So it's not just, you know, free. So if you want it for yourself, go with what you want. Go a size bigger than your normal size. If you're a size 10, do a size 12 measurement. If you're a size 12, do a size 14. Because this does not stretch. So you need to make it wearable. Or if you don't want to shape it, you can just decide to do a straight line that way. That one makes it easy for anybody to wear. So what I've done here, I need to repeat at the other side so that once I open and start sewing, I'll just sew on this. So I did a 45 here, I did a 40 here, and I did a 50 there. So I'm just going to turn to the opposite side and do the same thing so that there will be cohesion. So from the top too, I need to take about 11 inches to start my bust, and from there 16 inches to get my waist, and from the 16, 8 inches to get my hip. So at the hip level, I did 50. At the waist level, I did 40. And at the bust level, I did 45. So all I need to do is do the same thing and just go out there. So after folding the sides, I'll just stitch along this, and I have my dress. So that makes it easy when I open up to sew. So all you need to do is you close the sides, you fold the side, and you just stitch on this. So let's cut the neckline. I'm going to open up now and pick the front side to be able to cut the neckline that we traced earlier. So you just open up and you have a fold like this. Okay, so now it's folded into 2, no longer into 4. But this cutting, this folding, as you notice, doesn't have a cut at the shoulder point. So place the fabric, make sure it's even before you start cutting. Don't be in a rush. So I've done that. So the back was already taken care of, and that's why we have this opening here. So it's the front part of the kaftan I'll need to take care of now. So I'm just going to open this, cut this, the crew neck, then the curve I made here. So I just go and just nip off about a quarter. So I just open the top part, and when I open up, this is what you're going to get. This neckline, like a tunic neckline. So there's an opening here, and that's the neck.